Hello, my friend. The holiday makeup releases are upon us. It happens to us every year in October, and we're like, it's not even Halloween yet, but we're getting those holiday releases from makeup companies so they can jump in, and it seems to be that they're trying to get our money earlier and earlier every year. And Rare Beauty is no different. Even though they are a brand new brand, they have launched their very first eyeshadow palettes. I purchased these, I've been playing with them, and I want to tell you some things about them. So if that sounds interesting to you, hang tight. We're getting into it right now. If you did not see my review of the things that I purchased from Rare Beauty, I will link that video down below for you. I do have a full review of a bunch of other products, and I said in that video that I thought it was interesting that they didn't launch eyeshadow palettes with their initial launch. And then what comes next but eyeshadow palettes? And of course they caught my eye and I wanted to try them, so I purchased them. You can buy these at Sephora and also at rarebeauty.com. I could not find a shelf life on these. Usually eyeshadows are between 12 and 24 months, but I couldn't find them for these in particular. But one thing that I did find interesting that I found is that these are made in a different country than the rest of the products that were from the initial launch. In the initial launch, we had products that were made in Canada, Italy, and Korea. These are made in China. Products made in China, there's a lot of misconceptions about it, so I'm just going to tell you what I know about it. First thing that you need to know is just because it is made in China does not mean that it is automatically not cruelty-free. And I will put some references down below for you so you can read it for yourself. But basically what happens is if a product is made in China and directly exported to the United States, it does not have to be tested on animals, and that's what's happening with these. And now there's actually a law that if a product is made in China and sold to Chinese customers, that too does not have to be tested on animals. The only products that need to be tested on animals for sale in China are foreign products. So anywhere outside of China, if it's manufactured there, then going to be sold in mainland China, that's when it needs to be tested on animals. So these can remain cruelty-free. The other thing is that people assume that just because an eyeshadow palette is made in China that it is going to be poor quality. And I personally believe that not to be true. Yes, of course, there are some products that are made in China that are of poor quality. But if you look at products like Juvia's Place, Violet Voss, Glamlight Cosmetics, those are all made in China and they are all wonderful products in my opinion. So it is possible for these to be good quality and also made in China. So for cruelty-free status, these are PETA certified as cruelty-free. I know some people don't like PETA, but that is something in the United States, PETA certified cruelty-free, and that is what these are, so that is what I am telling you. And they are also vegan. Let's talk about the packaging for a minute. It does have a click closure here, so you do need a fingernail or something in order to pry this open, and it is very close here to the edge where the eyeshadows start. So if you accidentally bring your nail up inside, it's very easy to gouge the eyeshadow with a fingernail. Other than that, the packaging is very, very beautiful. It's the first thing I noticed when I opened them is they were so much more beautiful in person than they were on the website. The words Rare Beauty actually hover above the cracked mosaic looking design that's down here. And there is a plastic on the top. And then this is kind of a plastic with a metal coating over it, but it doesn't feel cheap. It feels very nice. It feels heavy. It feels good. And that brings us to value. Are you getting your money's worth if you plan on using these all the way through to hitting pan compared to other eyeshadows that are from brands at similar price points? So I looked at Sephora at some competing brands. For this, you get 6 pans. They're 1.3 grams each, which brings us to 7.8 grams total. That's $3.21 per gram, which is about middle of the road to a little more expensive per gram, which for me, I was thinking, okay, I know that manufacturing eyeshadows in China is less expensive than manufacturing them other places in the world. So why is this $3.21 per gram? And I honestly think it's because of the packaging, that it is, I mean, it looks like a custom packaging with the plastic here and the hovering of the, I don't know, it's just really pretty packaging. And I think that's what you're paying for when you are paying for this packaging with these shadows. eyeshadows in it. Like for example, the Violet Voss fun-sized palettes, those are made in China as well. You get 10 pans at 1.2 grams. That ends up being $1.50 per gram, which makes sense for a China-made eyeshadow, but you're also getting a cardboard packaging. So I think that's really where you're getting that difference. Other eyeshadow palettes that are similar are the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics. That's $29, and those are $3.45 per gram. And then the Huda Beauty Obsessions, you do get 9 shadows in those, but those work themselves out to $2.31 per gram. And then going into ones that are a little bit more expensive per gram, we have the Viseart Petite Pro, which is slightly more per gram. The NARS Mini Palettes, which are significantly more, but I feel like NARS always pushes themselves more. I feel like they're trying to push themselves into like the more luxury, kind of like an Hourglass kind of formula. So it makes sense they would be a little bit more per gram. And then the Natasha Denona Mini Palettes also, they tend to push themselves up into the more luxury formulas. Those are $6.25 per gram. All right, I've got a very fast ingredient analysis for you. Just as a reminder, I am not a cosmetic chemist and I am not a dermatologist. I am just a skincare and ingredient and makeup enthusiast. Go to a professional if you have any questions about specifics on these. But from my research, what I have found is that all of these shadows are mica based, except for one that is synthetic fluorphlogopite based, which is a synthetic mica. The shade in here that is synthetic fluorphlogopite based is Passion, but all the rest are mica based. They do have a pretty short ingredient list, which I was surprised about. And Red 40 is listed as the red pigment that's used in both palettes. Now, the thing about Red 40 is that some people are sensitive to it. So if that's you, of course, you don't want to purchase these. But Red 40 is considered a vegan pigment. It is also FDA approved for eye use. So therefore, you don't have to worry about these having to be called pressed pigments. They are called eyeshadows and they are vegan. So there you go. All right, my friend, we're gonna do swatches just a little bit differently this time. I'm taking inspiration from my girl Shay over at That Girl Shay XO, and we are gonna be doing some eye swatches of these palettes because they are all shimmer or foiled or topping kinds of shadows, glittery guys. I feel like doing eye swatches would be the best way to show these. So the method to my madness on this was that I decided to use a flat shader brush to pack it onto my lid, and then I used a fluffy brush to kind of fluff it out so you could kind of see how it blended if you did want to blend it out up onto your brow bone. I did want to use a very large one just so you could see how it kind of dissipates over the eye, so you could see whether it was patchy or not. And then the third step was me taking my finger and tapping it on so you could see it at full opacity beyond what a brush can do. So hopefully you find these eye swatches helpful. I'm going to show you those right now.
I was worried you blow my reputation, but I figured it's not on me. Yeah. The way you're making me shiver, your hands on myself, I keep pulling the trigger, alright. Just wear a finger for people like them. Oh, no. Well, darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky, oh. It's the way you make me feel so good right now. It's the way you make me feel so good, oh. I keep on falling astray from my intuition, but I'm pretending it's not my fault. No. The way you make me glitter, you drink me like liquor, keep painting the picture, alright. No, I don't care much for people like them. Oh, no. Well, darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky, oh. It's the way you make me feel so good right now. It's the way you make me feel so good, oh. fortress in the jungle, baby, we're alright. We don't care much for people like them. We don't care much for people like them. But darling, on my mind, I'm feeling so fly up in the zone now. I'm like a golden crown, whirling high up in the sky. Oh, it's the way you make me feel so good right now. It's the way you make me feel so good. Oh. We're soaring up high, got no clue. How do I know what I mean to you? Yeah. Say it out loud, spill the truth. Tell me how I'm gonna get close to you. Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything to me. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me you're lost, feel so blue, leaving me on the spot so confused. Oh baby, tasting so sweet, acting so rude. Won't you tell me what I'm supposed to do? Yeah. High and low, in between, acting out, make a scene. Working on our body language, working on our body language. Baby, now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside, love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean. You mean everything.
Now that you have seen the eye swatches, I'm gonna go show you a quick demo of how I got this eye look today. I did start off with the Master Palette by Mario, the Master Mattes palette. I didn't put that part in there because that's not what this video is about. I used every shade in this palette here to do this eye look today, and I did that purposely because I've seen some people confused by the color story, not really sure how these color stories will work together, so I wanted to challenge myself with this, and I specifically picked this one and not this one because this one confuses me just a little bit more, but this one makes a little bit of sense. So let me show you how I put them together. Maybe you'd put them together differently, but this is how I put them together, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's coming at you right now.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh, nah, nah, nah.
All right, it is currently a little bit later in the day. It is 3:30 p.m. I've had this eyeshadow on for about half an hour, so we will be back at the end of the night to see a wear test of how this looks at the end of the night, and I'll also give you my final thoughts and full review on both of these eyeshadow palettes. So it'll be about 7 hours for me, and it's gonna be just a second for you. Let's just snap it into it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Day is done. Let me just say how impressed I was, how many people knew that song. If you don't know that song, I learned that song in Girl Scout camp. We used to sing it at the end of the night around the campfire, and apparently around other countries around the world, it seems like a lot of people sang that song at Girl Scout camp or Boy Scout camp. So yeah, I was very impressed and I wanted to mention that. All right. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and check in and see how this eyeshadow wore throughout the day. It's been about 7 hours. Let's go ahead and zoom in and I'll show you how it looks. So the first thing I noticed, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but on this eye especially, there's definitely some solid transfer of the greenish shade from my lid to my brow bone. That is relatively typical for eyeshadows for me. It's pretty rare to have eyeshadow, especially shimmery eyeshadows, not do that. But overall, I feel like that's kind of the worst of it. There's a little bit of patchiness, mostly in the inner to middle part of my eye, especially in the crease area. But overall, if I had this eyeshadow on after a long day at work and it looked like this, I would be happy with it. I wouldn't feel like a hot mess. I would feel pretty good about it. So now let's go ahead and move on to my final thoughts about these palettes. Okay, let's go ahead and start with the one that I like a little bit less. This is the Magnetic Spirit palette. Pretty much the reason why I like this one a little bit less is just the color story isn't as appealing to me. I'm not sure if these were originally meant to be with the original launch of Rare Beauty, but these definitely do not scream holiday in any way, either one, especially with this peach shade in there. I see this as being more, both of them really, as being more of summer palettes. I don't know. I guess you can use them at any time of the year. You can always use them with other palettes. There are really no rules, but that was just kind of my initial thought. The purple and the green both have a black base, and the problem with that is as you blend them out, like hopefully you were able to see when I used the blending brush, you can really see that black. It tends to really overpower the true shade as you're blending. So you see more of the black than you do of the color that you see in the pan. So that's not my favorite thing. I also was a little disappointed in this shade over here, just that it wasn't very opaque. It's more of a topper shade. It's not really great on its own, but man, it really does look beautiful when paired with this purple shade here. It really does look nice. I did a look with the 3 of these and it was absolutely gorgeous. I really like these 3 shades as well together. So there are ways to work with this, but looking back, I probably, if I didn't have a makeup review channel, I probably would be returning this or maybe not have purchased it at all. I mean, it's fine. It's just not my favorite. The other one, on the other hand, I am very thankful to have. That's why I chose to do my eye look with this one today, because it is my favorite of the 2, the Confident Energy palette. These shades in here are incredible. They're really beautiful. My favorite shade by far is this first green shade. I wore it for What's Been Makeup for the first time. I think it was last weekend. Oh my gosh, or maybe the weekend before. I absolutely love this color. It is so vibrant and green, and it's so easy to work with. Same thing with this blue, so vibrant and blue and fabulous. I also love the iridescent tones that you can find in this shade here. It really pairs well with the rest of the shadows in here. Maybe save the peach, but really and truly, you can pair it with the peach too. I mean, everything just goes so incredibly well together. You know, part of me with the whole complete palette thing wishes there was some mattes in here, but honestly, I have so many neutral mattes. I don't really need neutral mattes in this palette in order to make me happy. I can always pair it with something else, and I'm fine with it. And I do love this color story a lot. I love how they all work together. Using the peach, I prefer to stick to this quad over here with the peach. I don't really like it with the blue and the green because it's opposite the color wheel, so I wouldn't expect them to go together. But really and truly, I mean, these 5 here and then these 4 here, just wonderful together. And like I did today, I threw the peach on the lower lash line and it worked out fine. It looked great. It's just they don't blend well into each other because, again, opposite the color wheel. Overall, just really love the blendability of these shadows, how they work together, and also how they work with other shadows. Lasting power is good, not great, but good. But I am very, very thankful to have this palette in my life. I absolutely love it. At this point, my friend, it is your turn. In the collective brain of makeup awesomeness where we help each other to not buy crap and to buy things that are totally worth it. If you have purchased these palettes and you have an opinion, I would love to know your thoughts down below, or your thoughts on what you saw in the video today. Are you planning on picking it up? If you don't already have it, are you planning on picking up either one? Are you gonna skip on both of them? Do you have a favorite palette that is out there that you would rather get other than these? Or one that you own that you like better than these that you think may be similar? I love to know all of your thoughts down in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already and you did enjoy it, please hit the like button. It does help me out, and the YouTube algorithm helps me to get more visibility on YouTube. The other thing that helps is leaving a comment. That helps as well. You can subscribe if you would like to see more of my content in the future, and if you want to make sure you don't miss any, you can hit the bell for notifications. It works sometimes it doesn't, but if you have it set to all, you're more likely to be notified. And if you would like to watch another one of my YouTube videos, YouTube should be recommending a video for you right down there to watch another one. But if it is your time to go, it is absolutely no problem at all. Thank you so much for hanging out as long as you did. Mad love to you, and I will see you in a video very, very soon.